Guys, we are seeing a major shift in the way that the American workforce looks. The amount of H1B visa approvals have fallen off a cliff, and I think understanding what's happening both here and abroad is pretty paramount to making sure that you can remain relevant, respected, and financially free, which I think is the goal of all men like us. If we don't have jobs, we don't have money. If we don't have money, we don't have respect. If we don't have respect, we got no girls, we got no confidence, and I think that's probably one of the biggest problems that's plaguing men these days. But regardless, understanding what's happening with the workforce is important. And the drop off of the H1B visa program is not as simple and straightforward as it might look. There's a couple factors to look at, A, and then B, some of the implications in the way that companies are kind of handling these changes. And understanding this, I think, is paramount to making sure that you can remain relevant in the modern day workforce. I think it's first good to start with some data here, with some stats. So H1B petitions approved for major employers like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, even Tata Consulting Services, Infosys, they're on track to fall over 10% so far this year. Could be higher, but so far we're seeing a drop off of about 10%. And get this, the eligible H1B registrations dropped 344,000. Guys, that's down 38.5%. You've got the amount of registrations that are eligible is down 38%. That is a massive drop off on H1B visa talent that's coming into the United States from overseas. Now, there's a couple big parts of this change. The first of which is the way that the current administration has been handling H1B visa applications. They are requiring $100,000 approval, an application fee, among some other hoops to jump through, we'll just say. And I'll post a link to a video here where we go into more detail on how the current administration is handling H1B visa applicants. So regardless, we've got that happening, and a lot of people are just not filing these applications because it's, the previous workaround was, well, Americans are expensive, they're more demanding, they want sick days, all this stuff. You don't have that so much when you're using H1B visas for, say, Indians overseas. You bring them in and they're almost indentured servants to an extent. So between the $100,000 application fee, minimum wages, requirements and stuff like that, it's become, I think, less attractive. And that's why we're seeing a 38.5% decrease in the amount of eligible registrations. And so I think what you probably are thinking right now is, yeah, go USA. This is a great time to be a software engineer, and I'm going to get a great job. I'm going to be developing, I'm going to be writing all this code, building all this software. It's going to be great. Well, not so fast, guys, because the story that we've been covering basically day in, day out on the channel is the prevalence of AI in the coding and software world is absolutely bonkers. It is bananas. I mean, Google the other day stated, Sundar Pichai over at Google stated that they're using AI to write 75% of their code. The way that code is being written is being completely upended. And, let's just say that, the H1B visa program dropping is not holding them back at all. So you've got 171,000 people that have been laid off. That's on pace to double the amount of tech layoffs from last year. AI is playing a huge role in that. And AI adoption is also now the number one reason for those layoffs. And these WARN notices, they're saying it's AI. All the big tech bros are saying that AI is writing all their code. It's doing all their management. They've got these AI agents performing all these tasks. It is kind of a crazy time. And by the way, I think it is kind of silly to say, well, I'm anti-AI, I'm gonna fight AI, AI is not gonna be part of my life. That to me is kind of silly. It's kind of like saying I'm gonna work, but I'm not gonna use a computer. Better to be a conductor, guys. You wanna be a conductor. You wanna know how to launch, run, optimize, create a flywheel with AI and AI agents to get your tasks done. And I think the guys that understand that and figure that out are gonna be the most successful in this new world. Now, regardless, India is probably the biggest loser in this H1B visa deal. All the Indians out there are, well, you're in a rough spot here, at least on the surface, because you've got major IT firms like TCS that see this US move away from the cheap Indian labor, and also this push to automate and leverage AI agents, and they're responding in a major way. TCS has shifted tremendously from just being a IT company from overseas to being an AI integrator and implementer. You want AI in your enterprise, TCS wants to be the go-to, right in line with the India AI mission first. And quite frankly, they're putting their money where their mouth is by laying off 23,000 employees to bring on different skilled labor. And I'll put a link to that video here where we talk about all the layoffs that are happening over at TCS. They are going all in on AI implementation to match what the United States is doing. Now, you might again say, okay, well, India's screwed, all the jobs are coming back to America. Well, not so fast. Not so fast, because what's happening here is while H1B visa applications are down and H1B visa hirings are down, it doesn't mean that offshoring is dead and gone. It doesn't mean that offshoring isn't happening. And we got an interesting story here today from Charles Schwab, who plans to hire or add an additional 2,000 Indian employees to their global center. Again, it's an interesting dichotomy. While these H1B visas drop, India is quietly becoming the world's largest global capability center hub. That's right. Down but not out. They are absolutely thriving over there. There are more than 2,100 centers employing over 2.3 million people, generating almost $100 billion. You've got Chase, Wells Fargo, Barclays, Amex, all investing heavily in the workforce there. We've even covered in the past the investments that Microsoft is doing tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars into Indian infrastructure and investment. So while we might be seeing the H1B visa program dropping, well, it doesn't mean an end to the offshoring by any means. It doesn't mean that it's just going to be smooth sailing for all my tech workers out there, because let's face it, that world is changing very, very rapidly, and you're gonna have to work hard to keep up. You're gonna have to work hard to keep up. Learning how to deploy these AI agents, knowing how to leverage these tools, automate some of your workflow away, very, very important. And earlier this week, I covered a new type of job that hadn't been a job before, which is a robotics teleoperator. Basically, you're controlling robots, typically humanoid robots, at distance, right? Virtually, remotely, with glasses. I'll post a link to the video here. Okay, but I do just want to confirm there is a difference between having an AI copy you and invent itself and become its own agent, and you physically, intellectually deploying an agent, being a conductor. And that's, I think, where you want to be. That's where I want to be. And quite frankly, I the other night I was just trying to go to sleep and I couldn't go to sleep. I normally sleep like a rock, but I could not go to sleep the other night. So I was just thinking about all these different types of projects that I could be working on and trying to focus on, like, where am I going to get the next big lift for my customers and my clients when it comes to marketing and ads. And I've got all these different AI agents like a Claude, we've got these MCPs. And anyway, it's kind of a fascinating time. It's exciting, but scary all at the same time. Regardless, guys, I appreciate you watching. 6 days a week, we're here. If you really want to support the channel, just click the join button below. It means a lot to me and lets me know that you're here. It helps me to connect with you. It would mean a lot. Just click the join button below. If you don't want to, that's okay. But it makes a big difference and helps me just continue to push this show out. Anyway, boys, thanks for watching, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'll catch you in the next video. Make it great. Peace.